Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm the Blinks and this is Blinks Art. Today I'm going to show you how to make use of charcoal pencil for your drawing. If you're having difficulties using charcoal pencil just because it smudges a lot, you find it very hard to blend with, and sometimes charcoal can appear a little bit brownish. These few things I just mentioned are one of the most common reasons why people don't like using charcoal pencil. If that is true about you, all you need to do is to just sit back and watch as I show you how to rectify that problem. Now before we start, I'll kindly request that you click the subscribe button. It might cost you nothing, but it means a lot to me and the channel, so please do well to click the subscribe button as we move on. I'm all about giving you tips, tricks and techniques to get your artworks done in no time. So without any further ado, let's get started. So welcome back guys. We are going to start with the brownish effect charcoal pencil gives you, and the complication with regards to smudging, and lastly how to blend with charcoal pencil. If you're having problems with using charcoal pencil because it tends to appear brownish, here is the simple answer to that. Not all charcoal pencil appear brownish. The brownish effect you get from your charcoal pencil, it's completely based on the company choice of produce. Some companies produce charcoal pencil that tend to appear brownish. Other companies produce charcoal pencil that are completely black and gray. So it's a thing of choice. I don't know any specific company that solely relies on creating pencils that have this brownish effect, but I know of companies that produce charcoal pencil that doesn't appear brownish in nature, which is this guy I'm holding here. This is a general charcoal pencil. You can as well get something like a Kimberly general charcoal pencil. These pencils don't appear brownish in nature. They appear much like your graphite pencil when you draw with them. The difference is that they are charcoal pencils and they get very dark. They don't give you that brownish effect. So if the brownish feel is the reason why you are not using charcoal pencil, just know that not all charcoal pencils are brown. It's just based on the company. As a matter of fact, these charcoal pencils you are seeing are what I'm using to make this artwork you're seeing here. Now a quick note, I am not paid to say this. These are materials I use. I'm just recommending. If you don't want that brownish effect on your drawing, just go get your Kimberly generals here, or you get your normal general charcoal pencil. You're not going to get that feel you get from that charcoal pencil you were using at first. It's going to give you either black or complete silver gray and not giving you that brownish effect. Now if there is any question with regards to what I just explained, please drop a comment in the comment section and I'm going to reply you. Moving to the next is smudging. A lot of persons tend to dislike charcoal pencil because it smudges a lot when you are drawing with it. Charcoal pencil tend to smudge a lot if you don't know how to prevent the outcome. I think that is one problem I suffered myself when I was newly learning how to make use of charcoal pencil. There are a few things you can do to prevent this outcome. The first thing you want to do is to get something like this, a glove that you can use to cover your hand while drawing. Another thing is have something to cover that piece of artwork, and then whenever you want to continue, you can remove it and then continue drawing. That is one thing that can help you eradicate smudging. Sometimes it might not even be the fact that charcoal smudges, but you might not be paying much attention to little particles that come out from your charcoal pencil. The next thing you can do to prevent smudging is have a paper to place your hand while drawing. For me, I don't normally use a paper to cover my hand while drawing because I'm making use of a glove. Unlike your graphite pencil, when it comes to your charcoal pencil, it tends to scrub off from itself and leave a little bit of particles, and those particles can easily smudge all around if you are not careful. But this particular brand of charcoal pencil I use is not of that nature. That is one major reason why I love using general charcoal pencil. Unlike other charcoal pencils, it smudges less, but you are going to learn how to blend with it because it can easily stick to your paper and it might give you a little bit of difficulty erasing out if at all you want to erase it, but you can completely blend with this. So the bottom line is try to have a paper to always cover your artwork so you don't pick up remains and stain other areas, hence resulting to smudging. Another thing you want to do if you don't have a glove, and even if you have a glove, always try to avoid unnecessarily placing your hand on your drawing. I think that's the major thing that helped me to prevent smudging when it comes to using charcoal pencil. I usually draw with charcoal pencil, and at the end of every piece of artwork I tend to have this smudgy feel, and I noticed that most of the white areas are a little bit stained and dirty. But today I no longer have such outcome because I was able to utilize a glove like this. You can easily get something like this, as well as using papers to guide my hand. The fact that you have a glove doesn't mean this guy is not needed. Now, at most times, to be honest, I don't make use of papers, but for beginners, you might learn how to place your hand with a paper before completely using your glove to draw. Some persons might still be having the glove and still smudge the paper, but the reason why you want to have this glove is that if you smudge just your charcoal with your glove, it might be a little bit easy for you to erase it out of the paper, but if you use your bare hands to mistakenly smudge charcoal on a particular area you don't want to be smudged, then it will be hard to come off because your palms tend to release oil in them, and those oils plus the charcoal pencil and your paper is equals to permanent smudging. It will be very hard for it to come off. Even if you try to use an eraser to clean off that area, it will always have that mark of smudging, so you want to avoid using your bare hands while drawing with charcoal. Rather, have something like this to create your artworks. Another way you can prevent smudging from your drawing is to draw ascendingly. That is, if you're a right-handed person, you can start from your top left, drawing all the way to your top right, and downward it goes. If you are a left-handed person, you can start from your top right all the way to your top left, downwards. The reason why you want to draw in like manner is because when you draw ascendingly, either from left to right, you're always going to have your hands or your gloves clean because there will be no graphite or charcoal for you to place your hand to smudge on the paper. You are only going to have graphite and charcoal on the areas you are working on. Now, if you want to follow that format with regards to drawing, always make sure to finish up with the top areas before moving to the down areas, because if you are afraid of smudging and you don't give a proper finish to the top area before moving to these down areas, and you move to these top areas to try to correct things, if you are not that careful, you might pick up graphite or charcoal because you've already worked on this area. Now, to be honest, I don't really think it's a nice procedure to follow. Learn how to place your hand on your paper. I place my hand on my paper at every point in time, but I'm very skeptical and careful. I don't just go ahead resting my entire hand on the paper or just carelessly move my palm on my paper. I'm very much aware that my hand is on my drawing, so each time I drop it, I always make sure to raise the hand before I place rather than dragging my palm on the artwork. So one thing you want to have in mind is each time you drop your hand on your paper, you don't want to drag your hand on the paper, but rather take it off, place it on a different area. That will really prevent your hand from smudging your paper. The same thing applies with the paper you are using. Each time you are finished with one particular area, you want to lift up the paper as well and move to the next area and start drawing. That is how you prevent smudging while using charcoal pencil. If you can apply 60% of all what I just mentioned, along with the awareness that you are using charcoal pencil, then you are bound to have a clean work that doesn't appear smudgy in nature. If you have any question on these two, make sure to drop a comment in the comment section and I'm going to reply you. Moving to the next is blending. When it comes to making use of charcoal pencil with regards to blending, you want to always have in mind the charcoal pencil is not like your graphite pencil that you can easily use to layer on your paper and you pick up a blending tool and start blending on it and it's going to appear smooth. Now, if I should try to use this charcoal pencil the same way I did on the paper, either hard or soft, it is never going to blend like the way this one blended. Now, unlike your graphite pencil, your charcoal pencil can easily stick to any paper, especially when the paper is textured. It can easily bind and stick to the paper, hence making it very hard to blend. or even erase from the paper. The charcoal pencil tends to appear more darker than the graphite because it can easily bind to the paper more than the graphite. Now when it comes to the erasing aspect, I can easily use my eraser to erase this off, but trying to erase this out, now you notice that I've moved my hand countless times. This I think I just did twice. Let's just make it 3 just to be a little bit fair with 4. So you can see how clean your graphite area is compared to your charcoal. That is to say, your charcoal can easily bind to your paper, especially when the paper is very textured. So you want to mind the way you use your charcoal direct on your paper. So having known that, how do you blend with charcoal pencil so that it doesn't give you the hard time to erase or prevent you from having a smooth surface like this? I think if you want to blend any smooth texture or any smooth area just like what we have here, you don't go direct with your charcoal pencil, because while you do that, you are only pressing on the paper, and when you do so, you can hardly blend it out. So if you want to get a nice smooth blending on a particular area, never you try to use your charcoal direct on the paper, but what you do, just scrub off some charcoal powder on any sandpaper, and then take a beauty blender or any kind of blending material or something like your brush, and then place on that area you want to blend, and then just rub it in for you to create that smooth texture you want. As you can see earlier, I dipped this on charcoal and look at what I'm getting. Comparing this to the graphite blending I did earlier, you can see how smooth the charcoal is. If you want to have lighter shades with your charcoal, all you do is to just continue with that same blending tool you have, because I kind of use this over here, so there is no much charcoal here and it's going to appear much like your graphite. The more you make use of this on a particular area, the less charcoal on the blending tool, hence is going to give you lighter tones when you blend with. The technique I just showed you is what I used to create this first layer in this drawing. With time, I'm going to be adding the second layer and I will be detailing this artwork. So that is pretty much how you blend with your charcoal pencil. Lastly for this, if there's any question with what I just said, please drop a comment in the comment section. I'm going to try my best to give you answers based on the little I know. So this is how far I'm going to go with this tutorial. Make sure to click the subscribe button, ring all the bell so you don't miss any of my tutorials when I release them. I'm the Blinks and this is Blinks Art. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two. Before I go, I would love to say never limit yourself to using a particular material because of a particular limitation you have with regards to mastering a particular technique. Always try to learn and practice how to make use of that particular thing. If one artist can actually succeed in it, then there is no reason why you can succeed. So always have the mindset to try out new tricks and techniques with regards to your artwork. That is one of the major ways you can grow to become a professional or as a professional. Till I meet you next time, make sure to watch other videos in this channel to enhance your creative skills, and subscribe to the channel, ring all the bell so you don't miss any of my tips, tricks and techniques when I release them.